it was Grosserop actually who suggested that I release this book here today. This is the book Fred has just been speaking about. It's Greatest Comedy Song Hits, Volume 1. Unfortunately, it's not going to be released today, hopefully in a couple of weeks. It just needs a bit of fine-tuning. So I'll just try and explain to you the content of the book and what we sort of set out to do. I'm not a musician per se, though I've done quite a bit of music and I've got a couple of music degrees and stuff, but I'm actually a lawyer by profession. We have, as part of our literary tradition, the mandas, the dolpots, the deknis, they've been there for like 200 years, and the music has actually been written down, it's available, and you can actually play it. It's not available for the mass market, it means it's not available really in London and Toronto and New York. But the music of the last 50 years has been neglected. None of it is available. The music of Chris Berry, Frank Fernand, Gina Ship, Nirvana, Alfred Rose, Wilfred Dimbus, Henry D'Souza. This music is not available for the simple reason that none of it has been written down by the composers, and nobody's taken the time to transcribe this music. As a result, much of this music is not available to the historic Goan. That means the Goan in New York, the Goan in Canada, the Goan in Kenya, Africa, all over the world. These Goans you have second generation and third generation Goans who've never been to Goan. They heard some of our music, and their parents all listen to this music and they hum along and they say, and kids say, wow, that's really nice stuff. You have some music. Because the music teacher would like to play this. Would like to teach the child this music. But this music has never been available. So we took it upon ourselves, but basically I should take all the blame here, to transcribe this music. We had sort of an internet poll, and we got like almost 1,000 songs. And out of this, we decided to put down like 500 in 15 separate volumes. So this is actually volume 1. It sort of tackles most of the music that is currently popular in the market. Songs like Adios, which is from Goan Pulmones, Benda Festa, Pedro, Caniza Zaza, Katrina, Cecilia, Claudia, all the kind of stuff that you hear on the TV, that you see the DVDs all about. And that's the stuff of legend. You actually hear about this all the time, it's whispered, it's talked about, and you can say, wow, this music is really fascinating stuff, but it's not available. So what we've done in this volume, I've transcribed the music. I actually worked with a team of a couple of people that had doctorates in music. As I said, of course, I'm going to take all the blame for any errors or omissions here, but we transcribed the music for solo instrument, for flute, for guitar, for band. We actually put some of the stuff down in Cifra, which is tablet notation for bands. Because we have a lot of bands around the world, never been to Goa, but love to play Goan music. So I actually wrote down all that music for them. But we went a step further, because you have the diasporic Goan sitting and say New York, for example, and saying, okay, what does this actually mean? What do these words actually mean? So we had to translate them. We translated all of this, and then we came across a secondary problem. What happens when that Goan relates the literal translation to the company that's above it? Does he actually relate the word to the word below it? So we had some difficulty there, so we got hold of a few professional translators who did it idiomatically. People like Augusto Pinto and Silviano Barbosa. There's a whole team of them, Ben Antal, Father Loyola Pereira. And eventually we set all the lyrics to English poetry. So you actually have the actual meaning there set to poetry. It was of great disappointment to me when the preview copies went around. There was lots and lots of musicians who said, wow, this is really interesting stuff, this is great stuff, we can actually play. But most of the people were only interested in the translation. They went around and said, wow, this is what it actually means. Oh, okay, this is why the girl threw herself into the well. And, this is why this lady committed suicide. And this is why this taxi driver ran this person down. They were interested in the story. What we've also done, as a header to each song, there is the story behind the song. The composer's intentions, because we cannot go against the composer's intentions, but the composer's intentions are there, as well as the actual story behind the song, and of course all the orthography and the history behind the song. And all of that you'll find in this book. So that's basically a very basic introduction. This is what it looks like. That's the cover. This is actually a preview copy which is already available, but it's not available to say it right now. But you can have a look at it if you like. You can always contact somebody at the back of the hall. And this is what, say, a typical song looks like. Say, this is Adi Ani Ata, which means then and now, which is very relevant to us today, because what Goa was then and what Goa is today. Okay, this is by M. Boyer. As you can see, there are liner notes here that tell you the story behind the song, what was Empire's idea in writing the song, when he wrote it, how he wrote it, how he came up with the lyrics. That's all in the liner notes, the program notes there. That's the music there. This illustration, Then and Now, it was done especially for the series by a Brazilian contemporary artist called Camilo Nascimento from New York. He did a series of really interesting artwork there. On this page, on the next page here, we have the translation. Again, the lyrics are there with all the guitar music, etc., etc., and you have the translation there in English set to poetry. Here you have the guitar music here in cipher for guitar notation. So each of these songs is really a little story in itself. A story about the Goa of then, the Goa of the last 50 years, not necessarily before. We've included a couple of bandos in the first volume and one Goa part, but basically it's all the music of Alfred Rose, Chris Berry, H. Breton, and great composers like that. Goa sees itself as the bastion of company, but that actually is not true. We do have a lot of girls in Bangalore, a lot of girls in South Kannada who actually sing in Konkani, in dialect. But we tend to look down on other dialects, as I'm sure they do to us. And they call themselves the Rome of the East. We also call ourselves the Rome of the East. I think they have a lot to contribute. Some of the music is ethereally beautiful. The music of Wilfred Bimbas. How many of you know Wilfred Bimbas? One person? Okay. Wilfred Bimbas is a really great composer from Bangalore. He's sung some beautiful songs. I'm sure on all of your radio you've heard his song. Mokuzo, Kitlo, Ashela. That version that you heard is by P.V. Srinivas. Okay, that's a massive hit. It has sort of outsold any other Goan hit. And it's from Bangalore, so it had to be included in this book. There's a couple of other songs here in this book, which actually are Konkani. You probably know them, and I'm sure a lot of you know that they're from Bangalore. Katrina, yeah, Katrina, you know that one. Garazzo Divo. Okay, these are from Bangalore. They had to be included in this book because they are essentially a part of our tradition, whether we consider ourselves Bangaloreans or not. Two more songs that were included in this book. One is Malaika. I'm sure a lot of you have heard Malaika. Okay, it's not Goan, right? But every Goan band throughout the world plays this song. And this music is not available in print. So we sat down and transcribed this music, and it is available to play here. Any pianist can play it, violinists, flautists, guitarists can play it. It's in this book. Okay? It's music for the diasporic Goan. And finally, a song that's currently airwaves, very popular, Maria Pitachi. Okay? The actual story of Maria Pitachi is here, and it's not what you think it is. But to find out the actual story of Maria Pitachi, you probably have to buy the book. Okay? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, this one is the one by Reginald. This is sung at weddings. Hello.
Okay, this is yet another one.
Yeah, that's the second one. And the mando, this is the mando.
That's right.
Okay. So this is the liner notes.
And you said the chords, that the guitar chords are there.
They're already there. They're throughout. There's not a page that you can say, okay, I'm going to turn back.
I see.
This is,
here,
this is the translation. Yeah. Now, when you come here, this has been set by professional musicians. I worked with the whole team. Actually, two of them are my sons. They have doctorates in music. So when they put this together for you, you can see, okay, when it comes here, they put in the diminished chord, the augmented chord, ninth, seventh.
I know.
Okay, so this is for really, a professional orchestra playing it. Yeah, the ordinary one can just
very easy.
Yeah. Okay, so the translation here. The time of farewell is now here. Oh, my heart begins to fear.
This is the translation.
Yeah.
And where's the story behind it, you say?
The story will always be here.
Just behind it.
Yeah, and the first here. Where it was composed, who composed it, and why. Yeah, because we had to hit the international market, so it has to be of international standard. And
how long
here,
did it take to get all this together?
3 months.
That's pretty fast.
This is guitar music. It's all for guitar. It's actually the story of the bride leaving her house, that particular mando, when she leaves her house to get married, and her family is heartbroken. That's the actual story. It was
unfortunately, we all, a lot of people in Goa, they know music, they so very well, but nothing behind the music is just the tune, melody.
Yeah,
so this is so much more knowledgeable.
I decided when I'm doing it, I'm going to do it properly, and I had to work with my younger son, he doesn't know Konkani very well, but he's a professional musician. I mean, he's actually a computer.
Did he learn music?
Yeah, he did his FTCL and FLCM from Trinity and Royal Schools, both of them. My younger son did it in 3 instruments. I discovered them before. He knows them when they used to give concerts in Goa.
That time it was only photographs. Yeah, yeah.
1,000 songs that jostle for space and battle for space in the first few volumes. So we kept most of the popular songs in volume 1, 2. We're spreading them out. Okay? You can't push all of them there. But there's so many. It's been a work of love.
Toronto, there's a South Indian who does a lot of.
Yeah, no, South Indian. You know people from Fatah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I know some of them. I know Daniel and Sauzi, of course.
Yeah.
Baba.
Yes, Zazie.
Yeah.